Hi everybody, it's RPG Grandma, and it's Arduin time. Let's go visit the exciting world of Arduin. We're going to talk about saving throws. We might be able to get into magic, if not more, but let's talk about their saving throw system. So they use the abbreviation SR. Saving rolls are simply a generalization of a character's chance to avoid some form of harm or other impingement upon himself. All are rolled on a d20. Now remember, we're doing Arduin 1980, the older stuff. Sometimes the rules are a little bit different. Okay. Also, there was another version where it had a lot of D100, which I don't have. I don't have that. For example, a character is bitten by a poisonous snake that has 24 damage points of venom. Remember, this is like more of a flat number thing. Don't get bit by that because it's going to do X amount of damage. Basically, you don't want to get hurt. You know, and you have that almost set in stone hit points. It only go up like 1 hit point per level. So different than D&D. If the character makes his saving roll equaling or surpassing the indicated number, he only suffers 1/2 damage, or 12 points in this case. And the same thing applies. The same sort of thing applies to magical saving throws. Someone casts a spell. Again, there's a save. You're rolling a d20. If you save, you suffer 1/2 the damage or the effect. Lastly, a person is being probed psychically. He will get a save to see if he resists such a probe. Making his save means the probe failed. Failing his save means his mind will be probed, for example. All right. So the GM can expand the save idea to encompass anything he desires as needed. Okay, that's important. They're telling you right now, if you need to make that judgment and you think there should be a save, go ahead, do it. You set the difficulty level. All right. See character saving roll chart for the base number required for each character class and save. And for each experience level earned, the saving roll is improved by +1. So the higher the number, you see what I'm saying? Because you're rolling up to 20. The GM, so it's allowed for most magical attacks except for Mystic Darts, Tangle Trap, Mystic Change, and most defense spells except for excuse me. Wizard Dark, Mana Mirror, Multiple Image, and so on do not allow any saves either, so no, not on defense spells. So let's take a look here. A plus means on less needed to save. Minus means on more. So we've got several charts. So there you go. Like I said, the 1980 rules, obviously they're quick starts. They're meant to get you used to the system. There's the bonuses or hindrances by class. Any means no effect on these charts. Okay, so saving throws, pretty self-explanatory there, I think. Then we get into spoken spells. For the mages, they give up to level 4, and they specifically note these are by no means all the spells available to the mages. The 3 Arduin books alone have several hundred more, and the list is limited only by your imagination. Remember, however, that all new spells are only acquired by finding old tomes and grimoires or by months of painstaking research by the mage. I really want that to sink in. I want to talk a little bit about that. Also, the priests, they have the priestly spells, and magic artifacts. So we'll probably do that the next one. We'll get into, maybe I'll do a spell list, but I really want to talk about this. When I started playing D&D, there was a very limited number of spells. And naturally, more spells were invented, okay? And then they appeared in various core rule books. And what I noticed, just plain D&D, from the pamphlets that my cousin had, to the basic rule books, to the advanced D&D, and then, the editions, is there's this tendency for people to say, okay, now you're a first level mage, you can choose a first level spell, look at the book. Don't do that. Because they're also looking at everything else. And not to say they can't go buy the books. Obviously they can. But you should sit down and think about what are the spells that everybody knows who do magic. Like, what would they have access to? What would somebody teach them? All right, what would be the guarded secrets? You don't have to get too complicated with this, but pretty much anything above a certain level, right there, you can probably say, oh, guarded secret, lost ancient knowledge, okay? Doesn't mean it can't be found, can't mean it can't be researched and recreated, okay? Doesn't mean somebody doesn't have it, just the player doesn't have it, okay? Doesn't have access to it. It's something they've heard about maybe, but it doesn't mean they know how to do it. It doesn't mean they just automatically get it when they go up a level. The way I had it was I had a list, and I'm sure I probably still have the list somewhere, but I switched gears, so I kind of put all that stuff up. But I had a list of first level spells that came in from older material when the spell list was much smaller. So I started with a much more restricted list. And that is the list they worked off of for getting their first level spell situation and prayers, stuff like that. Because I felt that was more realistic. And the reason you do this is they need a reason to go into the dungeons. They need a reason to go to ancient ruins. They need a reason to be collecting gold and researching stuff. Your mages. And you need them buying things like unicorn blood to make their unicorn ink. You need them doing stuff like that. For example, dragon's blood. They need dragon's blood for the spell, and it has to be a red dragon, can't just be any dragon. Well, where are they going to get red dragon's blood? Well, yeah, they got to go deal with a red dragon, So you want there to be a reason for them to go out and about. You want the new spells to be something that they've been purposely looking for. They're delving into dungeons looking for new stuff. When they find a scroll, you want them in the dilemma of, I don't want to use the scroll. I don't have this one. But then something happens. You see, they got the scroll, but now they got to go through a process to get what's on that scroll into their book, so they don't set off the spell. You gotta think of these things. Or did they keep the scroll and maybe half the party gets wiped out because they were unwilling to use the scroll? So that's what I'm getting at. Also, what are the grimoires made out of? All kinds of stuff like that you can add in Are they do mages get tattooed? Um, you know, actual. I'll have to do a video down the road here on some creepy stuff from Iceland and places like that. Granny's researched. You know, grant you, there's like tons of cultures I haven't looked at, but you look at enough, you start going, okay, yeah, that's pretty scary. People were doing that, huh? Okie dokie. Perfect though for D&D. Ooh, that'll grim things up real quick. My book's made out of what? But I'm like a vegetarian magic user. My book isn't made out of trees. No, book is not made out of trees. Have a reason why some things are happening in your campaigns, and then have it be a horrible ethical dilemma for people. So this is what magical grimoires are made out of, by my order. Oh. So, you have something horrible that they don't want, so that they're just like, yeah, I like being a mage. Can it be made out of some kind of other material? You want people asking those questions as they adventure along. It can't just be the paladin trying to figure out if he can kill all the orcs or not after some of them surrendered. So you need everybody to be working through what kind of character they're actually playing, and where their lines in the sand are. That is one of the things you should think about. So research some of that stuff. Just go to the Icelandic. I think there's I think that's online. I found it years ago, so I'm sure it's floating around up there. Or there's pictures and stuff on the net. Pictures from the Icelandic Museum of Magic and stuff like that. Yeah, that's a good one. It'll be like, ooh, and then, mwahaha, we can have those in our game. So, yeah, make it proper, that right mix of heroism and horror that it's supposed to be. So we will do more, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the magical spells, and we'll start going over the magical spells. Only thing I want to know if you want me to explain the spells, or if you just want an idea of what the list is that they have in the 1980 version. And then we'll also get into eventually other stuff. But we're going through 1980, so you can see what they were thinking, what a quick start for Arduin would be, and where they were going with the game at that time. Anyway, everybody have a great day. Have fun. I got a ton of Arduin stuff to explore, so Arduin will always be on the in the episodes, because it's just too cool. There's too much cool stuff. But also always randomly talk about other things while I'm talking about Arduin, like D&D, because most people have played D&D, who know about Arduin. So that's why I touch back and forth on them. But like GURPS, that's another one, So we'll see what Granny keeps putting out. There's so many cool things. I don't even have that much, but what I do have, I think it's cool. So anyway, everybody have a great day. Like, subscribe, comment, and let me know what you think. Bye.